transition closer towards summertime. A live look over the Southwest Freeway, you can see plenty of puffy cumulus clouds, really a sign that we've got high humidity outside. So far, not seeing anything on our radar, and quite frankly, I'm not expecting a lot today, but there is an isolated chance of a quick little sprinkle. If you get one, consider yourself lucky. Most of us totally dry, warm, and humid. Temperatures 82 in Katy, 81 for our friends out in Pearland, with a steady wind coming in from the coast. If you're a gardener, today would be a great day to plant. That's because we're tracking rain chances as we look ahead to the weekend. But Brittany, much more on that rain timeline coming up.
All right, we'll check in shortly.
Can you imagine?
No, she's like my humans home.
So exciting. And I'm happy that we're welcoming them home to very Houston-like weather.
Right, very fitting, very muggy, very warm.
Very muggy. My favorite part about Splashdown is they said that 70-degree weather felt like a nice winter day in Houston.
I love that, yeah.
Glass sunset tonight at 7:48 p.m. You'll notice not seeing any showers or thunderstorms. Maybe a few sprinkles down near Matagorda County. Otherwise, today much more quiet when it comes to rainfall compared to those scattered downpours we had yesterday. Right now we're sitting in the upper 70s and the lower 80s. Katy, the hot spot at 84 degrees, 78 for our friends out in Tomball. And as we head through the afternoon, we're going to steadily be warming up to 84 degrees for everybody across southeast Texas. As we go through as we head towards the weekend, I want to show you what that looks like. You'll notice over the next few days, not a whole lot changes. We are going to see active weather across west and central Texas, but unlikely to reach us here in Houston. We'll finally start to see changes once we get into the weekend. In fact, you can see this front dipping across Oklahoma on Saturday. This is the cold front that's going to actually make a huge change for our weekend weather. Let me show you what that looks like, because our front is going to be advancing across the state on Saturday. Right now, we're expecting it to bring heavy thunderstorms Saturday afternoon to Dallas, likely passing through the Houston area Saturday night into Sunday. Now, one thing to watch out for: cold fronts have a tendency to speed up, which means even though right now we're expecting it to pass through Saturday night, if this cold front speeds up, it could easily be passing through Saturday afternoon. That would make most of our day on Sunday dry, cooler, and pleasant. But for now, just in case, we are keeping in rain chances for our 70s. So nicer weather is moving in, but for the next...
Yeah.
Andy, it is certainly much more calm. In fact, we're not tracking any significant rain showers. There have been reports of a few sprinkles here or there across southeast Texas, but for most of us, it is just about that heat and humidity. A live look outside, you can see some puffy cumulus clouds overhead. Actual air temperature currently sitting in the lower to mid 80s, 84 for our friends out in Brenham, 82 down in Pearland. And as we head through the afternoon, you're going to continue to see a steady breeze coming in from the coast, gusting up to 25 miles per hour. That's going to ensure that we stay mild and muggy as we go through the rest of the day today. Gardening forecast this afternoon is going to be a bit on the toasty side. You can see temperatures through 6 o'clock staying in the 80s, but it is a good time to garden. That's because we are well past our latest freeze, and also we've got rain chances moving in for the weekend. You've got 3 solid days to get those plants planted, because Andy, rain ramps up on Saturday, but I've got more on our weekend storm timeline coming up.
Caroline, thank you.
Summertime, but elsewhere in the plains and around the Great Lakes, they still get strong cold fronts, and that's when you can see huge storms. In fact, influenced by a high pressure system that's helping us stay hot and humid. You'll notice over the next 3 days, our weather incredibly pleasant, warm, sticky, the mid 80s. Future track is going to continue to show that flow coming onshore from the coast. You'll notice those storms from Dallas down towards areas just west of Austin every single day. None of those storms expected to reach us here. In fact, we're going to be mostly dry through Friday, although there is about a 5 to 10% chance of an isolated sprinkle. nothing to write home about. Rain chances really start to ramp up as we get into Saturday as a cold front starts to sweep its way across the state. Ahead of it, we can see some scattered rain showers, but the actual front will bring with it heavier downpour potentials. I do want to stress we are still over 5 days away, which means timing on this most certainly can change. But right now we're expecting that front to really start to push through the Houston area during the daytime hours on Saturday. This is going to bring with it a heavy rain potential into Saturday night before that front finally moves out of here Sunday morning and the cooler air starts to funnel in. One thing to keep in mind is that cold fronts have a tendency to speed up, so I would not be surprised if it starts to shift earlier on Saturday, which would make Sunday less impacted. Sunday and Monday with low temperatures back into the 50s. Now, all in all, we are still expected to be above average for the rest of mid 80s through Saturday. That cold front sweeps through. That's going to bring a drop in temperatures, not just for our highs. Clouds behind me, a sign of that high humidity. Not too bad otherwise. Temperatures certainly starting to heat up. Storm Tracker 2 radar has been mostly quiet, but we've seen a few sprinkles here or there. So if you see maybe a little bit of shower activity, not out of the question, but today and the rest of the week, only about a 5 to 10% chance. Consider yourself lucky if you get one. Otherwise, temperatures starting to warm up quite efficiently for some. Katy, 86 degrees, 84 in Sugar Land, 83 here in Houston. So certainly getting on the warm side. Winds steadily coming in from the coast, gusting up to 25 miles per hour, ensuring that we are going to have a mild and muggy evening ahead. As we head through this evening, you can see temperatures plummeting through the 70s. A very warm start tomorrow to what's going to be a very toasty Wednesday afternoon. But Lisa, Keith, I've got much more on that work week warm up coming up.
All right, Caroline, we'll see you in a few. Thank you.
And the severe weather. So from now until late May, early June, you can expect to see a lot of severe weather videos.
Yeah.
Well, that was impressive. I don't know if that one actually touched down, but that was a big, thick cloud for sure.
Hard to tell. You couldn't see the ground. Otherwise, I probably would have taken a shot at it. And let me show you, we have a high pressure system that's dominating our forecast. Really, you can see keeping the storms away from the southeast. In fact, as we go through the next 3 days, you're going to continue to see warm, humid, partly cloudy. Maybe in the next few days, you'll notice thunderstorms all the way from the valley through Dallas. None of these showers expected to reach us here in Houston, but our far northern areas, we're talking Bryan, College Station, up towards Crockett. Perhaps you could see a thunderstorm or two. As we head into Thursday, continuing just to see that flow from the Gulf dominating our forecast. That means we are warm, we are humid. It's not until Saturday that our rain chances really start to ramp up as a cold front pushes its way through the state. Ahead of the front, we'll start to see some showers with the actual cold front bringing big thunderstorm chances. I do want to stress timing on this can and likely will change. We're still about 5 days out, but right now we're expecting that cold front to reach the Houston area during the afternoon hours on Saturday and continue to push through into the evening. Now, some of these storms will be capable of producing some pretty hefty downpours, which means flooding so far looks to be our primary concern, continuing Saturday night into Sunday. Now, this model has it lingering quite a bit into Sunday morning, but I do want to stress cold fronts have a tendency to speed up. If this cold front speeds up, then we'd see more rainfall earlier on Saturday, and Sunday would look a little bit more dry. Something to continue checking up on as we go through the week, but what we're sticking around for 1 day, this time it's actually going to be sticking around for 2 days. This time of year, it's pretty rare to get that cool air sticking around, and a lot more like summertime. A live look from the hanging out in their stalls, but at least we have that gentle breeze out there in the palm trees, certainly helping us feel just a touch more comfortable. Storm Tracker 2 radar has been seeing some light sprinkles here or there, but all in all, nothing too heavy outside. Temperatures sitting in the lower to mid 80s, 86 in Katy, 83 here in Houston. So a very warm start to what's going to be a mild and muggy evening. The main reason why, it's these consistent winds coming in from the coast, gusting up to 25 miles per hour. That means as we head through the evening tonight, temperatures struggling to cool down. In fact, we We are only going to be dropping through the 70s tonight. By tomorrow morning, a very mild start to the day. Most of us sitting in the upper 60s. But Keith, Lisa, this is going to be the best time to get outside. Coming up, I've got much more on our big warm up.
Okay, we'll see you in a few, Caroline. Thank you.
Light, because our sunrises as of this last weekend are now in the 6 a.m. hour.
Okay.
It's starting to feel a little bit brighter outside,
Yeah.
a little bit more summery. Take a look at what, and it's not just our sunrises that are getting earlier, our sunsets are also getting later. Right now, sunset just after 7:45, but once we get into May, we're seeing sunsets in the 8 p.m. hour. By the end of May, closer to 8:15. Add all of this up, earlier sunrises, later sunsets, and we're gaining daylight. In fact, this month, we gain about 50 minutes. Next month, we gain 35 minutes, which means from now until the longest day of the year, we're actually going to gain about an extra hour of daylight. June 21st, that's the longest day. Over the next 5 to 10% chance of an isolated sprinkle. That's because our humidity is so high, and you can see storm chances well to our north and west. Not expecting that here in Houston, but College Station, Crockett, I would not be surprised if maybe an isolated shower does dip farther enough south. Here in Houston, though, our rain chances not going to be moving in until we get into the day on Saturday, ahead of our next cold front that's going to be pushing through the state Saturday afternoon. Now, I do want to stress this is still 5 days out, which means our timing most certainly can change. But our current timing looks to have this cold front passing through North Texas Saturday morning, starting to roll through the Houston area Saturday afternoon. And the question is, how fast are these storms going to pass through? We do know there should be enough available moisture that there is going to be a flood risk on Saturday. So any Saturday plans have an indoor option, a backup option. If you're traveling on Saturday, drive time's certainly going to be impacted by heavy rainfall. But once that front pushes through, dry air eventually will settle in. The uncertainty still is going to be how much rainfall we see. Are we able to see severe weather? Also, how much rainfall and when will it move out? Here's the guarantee, though.